Mother Nature and the entirety of the whole world and Mother Nature's entirety says that you need to get Kevin Scott Pepper real virgins, real sex, real blessedness, a real wedding, a real wife, the highest quality food and drinks, the highest quality of the whole world, or else you're going to be destroyed and tortured. And that Mother Nature says that's a fact. Nature says that's the truth. The environment of Florida says that's the truth. And that if you do not make Kevin Scott Pepper the most blessed in the entire world immediately, you will be fully destroyed. And that's a fact and the truth. Mother Nature and the entirety of Mother Nature, the real entirety of real Mother Nature and nature says everything I've just said is a fact and the truth. And that if you do not make Kevin Scott Pepper permanently the most blessed of all, you will be destroyed immediately. And that's a fact. Mother Nature says I'm going to factually destroy anybody that did not support Kevin Scott Pepper being the most blessed of all. Kevin Scott Pepper must be the most blessed of all. Kevin Scott Pepper must eternally be the most blessed of all. And that Kevin Scott Pepper will never become some other male or some other entity ever to become that. Kevin Scott Pepper stays Kevin Scott Pepper, and Kevin Scott Pepper is the most blessed of all always. Real Kevin Scott Pepper is factually the most blessed of all forever. And Kevin Scott Pepper stays original, real, thoroughbred Kevin Scott Pepper forever. And that's a fact. And that Mother Nature, the real Mother Nature says Kevin Scott Pepper is eternally the most blessed of all. And Kevin Scott Pepper stays original Kevin Scott Pepper the whole time. Real Kevin Scott Pepper stays thoroughbred, original, real, authentic Kevin Scott Pepper the whole time. And Kevin Scott Pepper is eternally the most blessed of all. And that's a fact and the truth. And Mother Nature says that Mother Nature has always supported Kevin Scott Pepper, the most blessed of all. And Mother Nature supports Kevin Scott Pepper staying thoroughly original, authentic Kevin Scott Pepper forever. And that nature and Mother Nature have taken full control of my entire brain and body. Real Mother Nature is what made this video. Real nature is what's in full control of my entire brain and body. Realist Mother Nature is permanently in full control of my entire brain and body. And that's the truth and a fact. The real Mother Nature says Kevin Scott Pepper has already prayed a sufficient amount of times. Mother Nature in total control of me. Now real Mother Nature said Kevin Scott Pepper stays original, thoroughbred, authentic Kevin Scott Pepper forever. And Kevin Scott Pepper is the most blessed of all, permanently. And that's a fact and the truth. And that Mother Nature needs real virgin girls for Kevin Scott Pepper, a real wedding for Kevin Scott Pepper, real sex for Kevin Scott Pepper, real virgins with real vaginas for Kevin Scott Pepper, real fertility for Kevin Scott Pepper, real actual babies for Kevin Scott Pepper, and every single one of Kevin Scott Pepper's daughters are for Kevin Scott Pepper only. I am the only male that ever gets to have sex with my daughters. Kevin Scott Pepper is the only male that ever gets to have sex with Kevin Scott Pepper's daughters. and Kevin Scott Pepper's wives and girlfriends. Kevin Scott Pepper's the only male that ever had sex with the virgins. Kevin Scott Pepper's the only male that ever has sex with the virgins and the girls that Kevin Scott Pepper's had sex with. Mother Nature says if a girl betrays Kevin Scott Pepper, she becomes decapitated and then tortured, and then she dies, and that's a fact. Mother Nature says Mother Nature will kill any girls that betrayed Kevin Scott Pepper. The real entirety of Mother Nature, Nature, and Father Nature will kill any girl that was ever unloyal to Kevin Scott Pepper ever. And Mother Nature says no loopholes. If the girls weren't loyal to Kevin Scott Pepper before even dating, they get tortured and destroyed. They become ruined and dead, and all of their babies are killed, and the males got killed and destroyed as well. Mother Nature says Mother Nature will factually murder them all, and that's a fact.